Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about what not to do when traveling. We learned a lot in the lower 48 when we were traveling around, and we'd like to spread some knowledge onto you so you can avoid some mistakes as well.
The first don't is don't overhype an area or get your hopes up too much, because then sometimes you have this picture in your mind and it's never going to live up to the expectations of what a place actually is. So that can just actually ruin your entire trip. Just don't do that.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, especially when we went to even like the Grand Tetons in Wyoming.
Yeah.
I kind of had this picture of like we would drive to, the mountains and we'd be able to see all this stuff. And there was tons of crowds, tons of traffic, and it kind of was like, oh, like this isn't as special as I thought. And I had to tell myself, this is what you expected when you come, especially to a very popular national park. Next is overbooking your days. Obviously, this one is pretty self-explanatory, but when you do too much in one day, it can really wear you out. We were very guilty of this when we were traveling in the lower 48 because we would just want to go to the next place, what's out there, what's next? And it got to be a little dangerous because after a while, I just got to be like, ugh, I'm so tired. Like, it's harder to enjoy a place when you're really worn out from constantly doing something.
So instead, we like to only do maybe 2 things a day and sometimes 3. That way you can focus all of your energy and excitement on 2 things rather than 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up is not allowing downtime to relax. So you might be on vacation or you might be traveling full-time like us, and it's so easy to just do things all the time because you want to see things, you want to eat new stuff, you want to go hiking, but you're going to get really tired. So having that downtime, maybe an extra hour or 2 in the evening, that's definitely going to help.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can go back to if you're like in Airbnbs or like a van like us or things like that. Go back and just play some cards, play some games, like
watch
things like that. Yeah, watch a movie. Something like that to just give yourself some time to, not be doing something like Molly said. Next is to not eat out every meal. Obviously, this is a couple of ways because one, it saves you money. Eating out can get very expensive, especially if you go to a very touristy place, and then places are really expensive to eat there. Also, though, you're gonna not feel as great because eating out is scientifically proven to make you feel not as good as if you were to have a home cooked meal. Now, you don't have to do that every single time. If you have the money, you can definitely eat out as much as you choose, but especially take some time to, eat at home and things like that.
Yeah, and just bringing simple things to your hotel, or if you have a van that are quick and easy to make, will make it so much easier. And we have a general rule of just going places that are local instead of eating fast food while traveling.
Yes, great idea.
Next up is not carrying quarters and cash. We kind of touched base on this on our 7 Quirky Travel Essentials video a few weeks ago, and it's just one of the small things that a lot of people don't think of. If you don't have your cash or quarters, you might not be able to go to a parking lot. You might not be able to go to a national park or a state park. And it just really limits to what you can do.
Yeah, and I mean, some of like general stores, things like that, if you want to get like a little something for the kiddos, sometimes they only take cash or something like that. So just having cash on hand is really handy.
Yeah.
Next is not packing enough socks and underwear. This is pretty self-explanatory again, but you don't want to be caught without those 2 things. If you have a shirt, you can rewear that. Pants, you can rewear those as well. But socks and underwear is kind of nice to just have an abundance of. We usually pack like 2 weeks worth of boxer or of underwear and socks, and like a week's worth of shirts and pants. So we really like to be prepared.
You never know if you're gonna have a layover or if your car's gonna break down, or say you just have the time to go an extra day or 2, you wouldn't be able to do that if you don't have extras.
Yes.
And last but not least is not carrying your dog's shot records. If you have a dog and you're traveling, you should always have a paper copy and a digital copy on your phone of their shot records, just in case you get stopped or somebody asks. You have that on hand, or if they need to go to the vet, that's awesome to have.
Yeah, and it's really simple as going to your vet, and especially if you're going to go on a big trip, and we always get Moose checked up if we're going to be gone for a long time, and just saying, hey, do you mind giving us a copy of his shot records or things like that? They're more than happy to oblige.
And they're always free.
Yeah.
That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely go check out that 7 Quirky Travels Essential video, as well as our most recommended snacks. Those 2 videos are awesome, and you won't be disappointed. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye guys.